Throughout this learning opportunity, we will focus on examples of scaffolds that already exist within EL education lessons, using Lesson 2 from Grade 6, Module 2, Unit 1, as well as determine where additional scaffolding may be necessary in order to meet the needs of your students. In this video, we will be focusing on Lesson 2 in Module 2, Unit 1, titled Reading for Gist, Middle Ages Excerpt 1. Each EL lesson breaks the lesson down into sections: the opening, work time, and closing. EL provides scaffolds within each section of the lesson to support students who may need additional assistance. In the opening, students are being introduced to the learning targets for this lesson. According to EL, learning targets are a research-based strategy that help all students. Reviewing the key academic vocabulary in the learning targets will help prepare students for vocabulary they will come across in the lesson. Posting learning targets allows students to reference them throughout the lesson, to check for understanding, and to keep focus on the intended learning. As we move into the work time portion of the lesson, EL has provided a few scaffolds within the instruction. Students are being introduced to a nonfiction text titled Middle Ages Excerpt 1. For the first read of this text, the teacher is asked to model fluent reading while students follow along. EL suggests allowing students to grapple with unknown vocabulary while working through their gist statements. After students read for gist, student-selected vocabulary as well as predetermined vocabulary can be addressed. When students are asked to identify unknown vocabulary, it helps them to monitor their understanding of the text and can also provide a formative assessment for the teacher. EL also notes that pre-teaching vocabulary may be necessary for certain students. As students continue through the work time, they are guided through answering some text-dependent questions. EL states that questioning students about parts of the text encourages them to reread the text for further analysis and allows for a deeper understanding. These questions also provide motivation for students to engage in the lesson and sets a purpose for this close reading. The lesson closes with student collaboration on an anchor chart, which allows students to reference their thinking later in the unit. Students' homework is to complete a quick write, focusing back to the Middle Ages Excerpt 1 text. Some additional scaffolds that have been created for your use are linked to this slide. This scaffold focuses on the quick write homework assignment. This is one of the first times students are being exposed to standard RI 6.5, and some students may need additional support. In this resource, you will find 3 levels of the homework quick write. The first level is the original version provided by EL, which is the most challenging. The next level provides a hint option to guide students' thinking. The third level provides the most support and asks students to complete a chart, which will help them to determine their response. Previewing the original question as a whole class and asking students if they feel confident in their ability to answer it will allow students to determine if they need one of the extra support options.